this webisode, we are back in Maryland with the crews at Prince George's County Fire EMS Station 816. You never know where there is danger as a first responder. On April 15, 2016, 37-year-old Prince George's County Fire paramedic John Skillet Almschneider died from a gunshot wound while checking on a man's welfare. This station houses a battalion chief, a safety officer, an engine company, and ambulance crew.
My name is Eric Hurt. I'm with the Prince George's County Fire Department. I'm currently a captain and a safety officer in Brewery, Maryland, Station 816. It was the excitement, it was a draw to the job, it was fulfilling, it was rewarding, and to this day and age, almost 25 years later, it is still rewarding to me. I have seen variations of every single kind of call. I don't want to say I've seen every call, though, but I've seen everything from gunshots to hangings to suicides to body parts dismemberments, people that have lit themselves on fire, people that have been on fire have passed away, and that's the learning process to where if you go on something else and you go, I say, I've seen that before, and this is how I act. Just like fighting, when you're going ahead and you're fighting a fire. Hey, I've seen this act this way, this fire progresses, and it goes up the chase, or it goes over here. Okay, this is what I need to do to stop it. Well, that's what you do on everything from medical to fire. Being in the safety office, I can bring that out to the field and talk to them and show them how the gears changed and what you need to do to protect yourself. You get out there and you got this fire or you got this medical incident and everybody coming together doing their part, and at the end, if everything usually goes well, it works, and it's just a brother and a sisterhood, if you want to call it, and just everybody getting along and having the same common interest and the same common goal. It's a very rewarding job. I'm glad I chose it, and I have no regrets.
A call comes in for a structure fire. We head to the location with Safety Officer Hurt.
Traffic primary on Station 1 negative.
Still going to be fire when we get there. We got fire through the roof.
We arrive on scene to a 3-story home that is still smoldering.
Other than what you just said, anybody else okay? Everybody had their stuff on?
Yes.
Nobody's tingling? Other than the box missing?
Yeah.
Where's,
I don't know though. We were trying to figure out from the car, you couldn't tell what it was.
Engine Company 847 was recently supplied with the combat-ready hose line from Key Fire Hose. One of the many features, other than more water and no need to be flaked out, is the colored hose line can be used as a specific line off the rig for tracking on the fire ground.
that'll reach all the way out to the fence, but okay. What you're doing.
Yeah.
They've seen multiple fires?
I don't know. It was attic. There was nothing on Division 2. It was all up in the attic.
So,
and then, when you can see the path right there.
That's pretty obvious right there.
Yeah, I mean.
We had a house fire here in Gunpowder Drive, and the electrical breaker box on the carrier unit, he overloaded, caught the back of the house on fire. The fire went ahead and extended upwards on the outside, went into the attic space, and where it extended both left and right, just sides Bravo and Delta, and burnt the whole upstairs up. I see a sprinkler head is upstairs in the floors. This house is always fully sprinklered, except for in the attic space. In the attic space, since there's no sprinklers, the fire is going to naturally extend to either side. When they came on the scene, they had fire showing through the roof with extension to both sides. The occupants in the house were 3 adults, 1 child, and 0 pets. They're all safe at this time. No transport, EMS transport at all.
7 o'clock in the a.m. It's breakfast time, and firefighter medic Allura Silitano takes her turn.
Comfortable in theory. Her favorite slippers, performance good house collapse. Elizabeth Warren banned from speaking after 9/11. Some other pop culture words include binge watch and microaggression.
When life and property are on the line, look to the standard-setting performance of Key Combat Ready Attack Hose, the industry's first choice for kink-resistant, low-friction loss, burn-through protection, and handling. Our combat-ready hose lines have high-flow capabilities and more GPMs. Designed for low-pressure, high-volume nozzles, safe to be used by one firefighter. Key Fire Hose. Are you combat ready? Learn more at keyhose.com. At Cosmos USA, our philosophy is simple. Draw on the input and experience of professional firefighters to develop the best fitting, highest quality, high performance personal protective footwear available. It's these materials, processes, and technologies that gives us the edge. Find out more about the most comfortable and best fitting boots in the world at cosmosusa.com. Back at Station 816, the engine company and a truck company are training at the tower. As always, you train as if it's a real call. The engine company arrives on scene. Firefighters Trader and Silentano jump off the rig. Firefighter Silentano grabs the nozzle and pulls the line.
Got it.
The firefighters drag the combat ready line to the tower. The first responders get into position to enter the tower. Captain Constantino is taking the lead on this training and testing evolution. The truck company arrives on scene with Lieutenant Jim Porter in command. The firefighters get their SCBAs on in preparation to enter the structure. The interior of the structure is engulfed in smoke. Training evolutions should always be conducted as if they are real. The firefighter on the nozzle, along with the crew, continues through the structure and up the stairs. The operator on the truck positions the ladder at the tower. The windows are open to ventilate the building. Positive pressure is always used to expedite the ventilation of most structures. The newly designed SuperVac fan that is being tested today is put in place. As it seems, it needs to be a bit further away from the doorway to use its full potential of airflow. Once the SuperVac fan is positioned properly, it quickly pushes all the smoke from the structure. Assistant Chief Christian Wargo and several other officials keep a watchful eye on today's test.
Laura, we're going to do a quick critique real quick with both groups, and then we'll clean this stuff up.
Captain Jesse Constantino assembles the firefighters that participated in today's evolution for an evaluation.
So everybody good? Mm-hmm. All right. So basically, we pulled up single-family house fire, obviously training fire. We went through, did the quick mock scenario. Engine pulls up, extends the line to the fire, fire's extinguished, and then did our quick search, primary, secondary, and then placed our fans. When it comes to fans, we always run into the problem, which one's the better fit for the job? Now, on this scenario, we have the option of using the gas fan versus the electric fan. This one we chose to use the electric fan, but the gas fan has its place as well. we pull up and we don't have good access. We can't get the truck close enough to get a cord reel to it. Power's been shut off to the building, so we opt to go with the gas fan. The downside of the gas is when you're using it, what happens?
Carbon monoxide.
Right. So this may be a good choice for a structure fire, but when we're dealing with carbon monoxide incidents in the apartment complex, the multifamily dwelling, and we're pumping in CO, we're really not doing any good for the customer, and we're not accomplishing what we're there to do, clear this carbon monoxide out of the structure. Does anybody have anything they want to add? Did you see any issues with the incident?
No, it was interesting working with this particular fan. We were told it has a narrower cone, and we had to put it back a little further. We set up where we typically would have thought we would set up a positive pressure fan.
Right.
We actually hadn't filled the door. You could see smoke escaping back out the top. So
right.
We moved it back a little bit till we encapsulated the door.
Right. The fog is obviously a lot harder to move than real smoke. Once smoke cools, it makes it more challenging to remove from a building as well. But the mission was accomplished, so I don't have anything. We'll go ahead and get everything cleaned up and go from there. Anything to add?
Yes, sir.
Good to go?
Outstanding job.
All right. Thanks.
Chief?
SVI Trucks is a fourth-generation, family-owned, Colorado-based company that specializes in building custom emergency vehicles and has for over 50 years. SVI Trucks has produced over 1,000 emergency service vehicles that are saving lives every day all over the world. SVI Trucks has gained a rock-solid reputation for innovative designs and superior quality. To find out more, go to www.svitrucks.com. California Casualty has protected American heroes for 100 years. 4 generations deep, we are a company of heritage, reputation, and commitment. It's our policy to do more for people who give more. Guided by philosophy of trust, service, and respect, we are the provider firefighters turn to for their family's auto and home insurance needs. We focus on you so you can focus on them. We're not in insurance for the business. We're here to keep a promise to protect. Find out more about how we can protect you and your family at calcast.com.
Today we are in the 5th Battalion of Prince George's County, Maryland. I'm Donnie Fletcher, 5th Battalion Chief. We're going to go take a tour of the battalion, go drive around and see some sights and hopefully take in some calls. I'm currently assigned to the 5th Battalion on B shift. The neighborhoods that it encompasses is Oxon Hill, the National Harbor. You may be familiar with the National Harbor and MGM. Fort Washington, Accokeek, Camp Springs. When I first made technician, I went to Company 17. I did about a year there as a driver and then got moved to Company 42 as a wagon driver. I spent about a year here on C shift. It's in a busy neighborhood, busy area. Borders DC, half the first due borders DC. Part of it runs right down Southern Avenue, so you have parts of the first due are left side of the street or District of Columbia, the right side of the street or Prince George's County. It's a good spot to be. There's always something going on in this neighborhood. Always good sights to see. That's why it's fun to work here. Typically after the guys eat dinner, they'll sit out on the front ramp of the firehouse and just take in the sights. A lot of people jammed into a little area, so see a lot of cars on the street, at least for limited access, getting trucks into place. There's a high crime rate area, so they put gates all the way around, which keeps the foot traffic of pedestrians down, but it also hampers us getting in, so it's a good place. You want to go in and say what's up to the guys?
The Global 7520 Radford, Bradford.
I'm a 3rd generation firefighter. My grandfather was a District of Columbia firefighter. He retired as a lieutenant out of Engine 26. My uncle was an retired assistant fire chief from Prince George's County. My dad was actually the only police officer in the family. He retired as a lieutenant out of the police department. I got hired fresh out of high school at the ripe age of 18. I'm entering my 12th year with the department. Just made battalion chief about 8 months ago. Was previously assigned to companies 27, 17 as a firefighter. Firefighter LaGrave. New kitchen they just got in here. Everything in the stations takes a little bit of a beating, so they were in desperate need for a new kitchen. They just got it. One of our really close line of duty deaths was right over here. What was not a line of duty death, it was a really close call for us. A guy named Lieutenant Dino Mahaffey, he's a good friend of ours. Got trapped in a triplex fire right over here off Roselle Court.
We stopped by Station 32 on Allentown Road with Battalion Chief Fletcher. Fort Garry Fire Trucks manufactures the toughest emergency vehicles in the industry with a full-frame aluminum extruded body. We utilize 5083 saltwater marine-grade aluminum and with a large engineering staff to meet your custom needs.
This company has gone above and beyond with engineering and building for us some of the strange equipment that we request. So in 1999, we started the wheels rolling with our very first Fort Garry Fire Truck custom pumper, and we have not looked back since.
This is our Fort Garry rescue. We took delivery of this in July 2014. Getting everybody orientated on it. It's been pressed into service quite a bit. It's got a command module built into the cab. We can run our command post from there. It's got a 25,000 watt generator. We can light up the night, all LED. No incandescent bulbs on this truck at all. I believe there's only 4 on the entire truck. Totally remote control with our control panel, and we've used this quite a bit at both structure fires and incidents on the highway. On this truck we spec'd a windsock. The helicopter pilots can see this from a long way as they're coming in on making their final approach. They don't have to worry as much from the landing zone officer on the ground to give them their weather conditions.
Visit our website for more info at www.fgft.com. Forged from fire, engineered for the extreme.
AHID has been around since 1993. We've been training home inspectors for 22 years. We trained roughly over 40,000 home inspectors in that time frame. We really are focusing on training individuals to go out, perform a thorough home inspection, create a successful home inspection company, and help people buying homes. We're in 70 locations across the United States and Canada. We have roughly almost 200 live training courses scheduled for 2015. We have roughly 15 technical trainers on staff. There is a little bit of a classroom environment. We're going over the inspection report, we're filling the report out. We go over a simulation that we just created. We go over, again, some of the theory, almost like a crash course from materials that were taken from the books. But then we go out in the field. A lot of our time is spent in the field at the house. We'll spend 3-4 hours at a property, inspecting the house from the outside and finishing up in a basement or a crawl space.
Our instructor, Chris, is very knowledgeable. He's been doing it a long time. I think the fact that we're actually doing inspections live is the whole point of the class, because anybody can do something online. And granted, you do learn online, however, the actual practical doing it is the best part of it.
Chris has been so personable. He put his number up on the board for us, so I put that in my phone instantly. And so far he's been awesome answering questions, and I have no doubt that when we finish this class, if we gave him a call, he would be happy to answer our question. He says he hears from prior students all the time with, they're at a home inspection and they're stumped on something. They go, "Hey Chris, what do you think about this?" He's like, he'll give them an answer, he'll get back to them, and he's just kind of that stepping stone for them to kind of ease into their own business.
We're a company that's growing at a very, very, very fast pace. AHID's going to be a process that we're going to use to take our company to the next level. We want to be able to have our employees come out and get future training so that they can move on and help us to succeed in the future.
I would definitely recommend AHITS. I think it's a phenomenal way to learn the industry, figure out if it's for you, and get the most knowledge out there possible to become a good inspector. Because obviously your name and your credentials are on the line, and AHITS just can help you move that along.
Six o'clock in the a.m. A call comes in during the shift change. We ride with Battalion Chief Fletcher.
Rescue 340 copy. When you arrive, take your line beside Charlie. Knock the security fire. Take out the other patients in their room. Multiple people inside. There's no one else in front. Settle vehicle back. This ain't 25 copy. The sheriff's advising multiple people inside. I copy. Rescue 840 copy. Take down the 9216 Stewart. Got it.
We arrive on scene. Most of the flames in the front of the home have been put out. The structure is engulfed in smoke as they remove a female from the home. The first patient, a male, unresponsive, was just removed and placed in the ambulance for transport. Battalion Chief Fletcher gears up to go in. Firefighters and EMS paramedics are administering life support to this woman not showing any life. The small structure has firefighters in all rooms and the attic as embers continue to burn. They continue to work on their patient. The gurney is brought in. The patient is placed on the gurney, safely secured and mobilized to the ambulance for transport to the hospital. Fire has reignited in the rear porch of the home, possibly the ignition point. Smoke bellows through the structure. The fire is out, but some embers still burn. Fire Chief Ben Barksdale just arrived on scene to the first structure fire as the chief and is walking his first 360 at a structure fire where 2 lives were saved.
5:30 this morning, passerby on Branch Avenue saw flames come from the rear of the house. Dispatched a reported house fire near Branch Avenue, Surratt's Road. Companies were able to weave back in this neighborhood, figure out which house it was. When they arrived on scene, they had a 1-story Type 3 single family with fire showing from the rear. Popped the front door, and immediately upon going inside, they found a victim on the left-hand couch right when they went in. They removed that victim, so they found a second victim in a back bedroom, removed her. Both victims are Priority 1 working codes en route to the burn center now.
Most of the news agencies have arrived and prepare for an interview with the Prince George's County Fire EMS Public Information Officer. PIO Mark Brady has arrived at the location and heads up the road to evaluate the incident, speak with Incident Command, and prepare to report to the media.
Both patients went out of here very critical. Right. One was in respiratory arrest, one was in CPR. They regained a pulse, but one was CPR. Oh, good.
Benjamin Barksdale.
Chief Ben Barksdale is on camera for the first time as the Fire Chief of Prince George's County Fire EMS. He has been with the department for the past 6 years.
See the report of a house fire here. It was phoned in by a sheriff deputy who happened to see smoke coming from the house.
In the end, after spending some time in the hospital, both lives were saved.